So, I know somebody who's about 35 years old, like within the past 5 years, just getting off of Ritalin and things like that. And, the people in my family, they did the best that they could, but it was so obvious that, the brother was trapped. And that, it just kind of set him up for his whole life. And now at 35, he's still suffering from a lot of the issues. And it's crazy because the father wasn't in the home. Huh?
Sorry to cut you off. What I want people to understand, the side effects don't go away. They stay. Once you've been on a drug for, and I don't really want to give a timeline, but roughly speaking, once you've taken a drug every day for about a year, even when you don't take that drug no more, depending on your particular chemistry and the drug that you took and the interaction between your biology and the drug's chemistry, you may always experience the side effects that came with the drug even after you stopped. So if you look at the side effects of the various drugs that we give our children, like killing brain cells, temporary psychosis, schizophrenia, diabetes, epilepsy, tic disorders, what do they call it, automatic ejaculation. That's something that a lot of people don't hear about, how these drugs can cause the boy to ejaculate without an erection and without sexual arousal, just ejaculate. Okay, I knew a kid. He was playing basketball one day out on the court, and all of a sudden semen is running out of his shorts. He's a virgin. Semen is running out of his shorts. And he's like, what is going on with me? It's the drug. In fact, there was a study that was done by white folk on the effects of Ritalin on the testicles of mice. And they found that Ritalin swells up the testicles of mice and leads to premature ejaculation. And this is the medicine that we give our kids on a daily basis. I mean, the Drug Enforcement Agency of the United States government classifies Ritalin as a Schedule II drug, which means it's just as addictive and has just as much risk potential as cocaine or opium. It's a Schedule II. The only thing more powerful is Schedule I. Okay, so this is what we're giving our kids, and we're giving it to our kids every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The only time I approve of psychiatric drug use for children is if the child is at risk for homicide, suicide, schizophrenia is serious. Those types of things, you might need drugs on a short-term basis until therapy can work its path. But drugs for the rest of your life is sick. And unfortunately, ADHD has become a part of black male culture. You know how we talk about prison has become a part of black adult male culture? Well, guess what? ADHD and legal brain drugging, crack for colored kids, is an everyday part of being a black boy in America. You get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but for breakfast you take your ADHD medicine. For lunch, you take your hyperactivity medicine. And for dinner, you take your depression or anger medicine. They have literally infiltrated the black community and made us think that it's okay to give our children drugs.
On top of that, we're giving our children these drugs, and then we're not talking about the drugs we give the children by simply feeding them foods that come out of these super caskets that are highly processed with sugars, whether they're the gluten, whether they're the that added white sugar, just bad diet, because we're not educated about the foods we eat, and not just educated about the foods we ate based on the standard American diet, but based on our own black genetic diet, meaning we are not supposed to be eating the same things that these other people are eating. So imagine that doubled with these drugs.
Well, let's look at it. What is it? About 85% of the black mortality rate in America is by preventable diseases and preventable causes. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Preventable.
That's right.
85% of black people who die in this country every year die of something that they did not have to die from. Whether it is, homicide with a gun, okay, whether it is, diabetes or stroke or heart attack. But one thing we also got to understand, and this is why it's so important to fight white supremacy as we also fight to improve our own diets, because a lot of our brothers and sisters who are in the health community, I love their work because I think their work is one of the most relevant pieces of work that we have out here, but I think that many of them are fighting only on one dimension, which is they're fighting to improve their health. You need to eat better. but they're not doing anything about the other circumstantial aspects or conditions or factors that feed into black people eating poorly. Well, let's look at it. If you need to eat well, you need to have access to the food to eat well, or you need to have access to the information so that you can eat well. There's an economic price tag that kind of comes with that until you're up and running and able to grow your own foods. They don't deal with the environmental racism or the economic racism or how many black people eat poorly, on purpose because they have a secret wish to die abundance. A lot of our people fall into that category. They could care less about the diet. They know that they're eating poorly. They can read all the Dr. Laila Africa and Scott Whitaker books, but it's not going to change anything because we're putting the physical health above the mental health. And what we say by that, if people ain't got a reason to live, why in the hell would they care about eating healthy? And so what we have to do is raise the vibration that our people have, and the only way we're going to do that is by building the institutions and provide them with the services that they need. Give a person a reason to live, and they will gladly improve their diet. But don't expect people to want to live longer as they continue to suffer under the oppression of white supremacy. As I've had young people tell me so many times, why should I care about living to be 100? So I can just experience more of this, see more men in my family go to jail, see more children in my neighborhood beat down, see more black women not able to find jobs to take care of their children. Live longer for what? Be healthy for what? Healthy just for the sake of health ain't good enough when you're living under oppression. We have to not only fight the poor health, but we have to fight everything that feeds into the poor health, like hopelessness, poor economic opportunity, family issues, white supremacy. It's all types of issues that contribute to one's decision and affect one's decision to eat healthily. And we have to make sure we tackle them all at once. To only deal with it in a piecemeal fashion isn't going to get us anywhere. It's just like when I do therapy. You drop your kid off to Dr. Umar to fix your kid. But I can't fix him without fixing the system. Y'all created him. Y'all the reason he ain't going to school. Y'all the reason he's beating up his girlfriend. Y'all the reason he's sexually abusing little boys. That came from that house. So I can't fix the kid separate from the unit that incubated the kid. And that's my message to all the health practitioners out there. I keep hearing health, health, health. And we should hear health, health, health. That is a major issue. Too many of us are dying from preventable diseases. But what are we doing about those factors that contribute to why black people eat poorly? They need a reason to live before they start eating to live.
That's true.